Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of the meal planning workshop. Can you believe it's already day 5? It has certainly flown by. This week feels like it has been absolutely crazy for me. So let's just take a quick moment to recap. On day 1, you cleaned out your kitchen. You've gotten yourself organized and you've gotten your systems in place for day 2. You've created your menu on day 3. And yesterday you were grocery shopping like an absolute pro. So I'm wondering, how are you enjoying the challenge? Kind of sad that it's the last day. How about you? Now it's time for the really fun part, the actual prepping and cooking. And then at the end, I'm going to share a way that you can get support from me on a regular basis. You may not be planning on preparing and storing all your meals ahead of time, and that's okay. I'm going to be sharing some tips that's going to make your life a lot easier, regardless. So my first tip is, if you're preparing meals ahead of time, it's a huge time saver to batch prep your jobs. For example, if 3 meals during the week require you to chop up bell peppers, chop them all up at once and store them in a large container, or put them in 3 separate containers, measured out by what you're going to need for that meal. Another example would be if you need to use the oven for 2 of your recipes, cook them both at the same time. That will allow you to have 1 dish ahead for a busy evening and just heat it up quickly. I do this not just for dinners, but for lunches as well. I pre-measure and package up proteins and vegetables and fruits to be able to easily grab and assemble a healthy lunch. 1 fruit, 1 vegetable, 1 protein, put it in a lunch bag, and we're good to go. Now, the second one is, even if you aren't preparing everything ahead of time, you can save time by cooking grains like rice and quinoa ahead of time and refrigerating them for use later. My third tip is, cook once, eat twice. Cook larger batches of food and use for leftovers. If you're cooking a protein, make extra to use in soups or stews or salads later in the week. Earlier, I had talked about how I tend to batch cook ground beef ahead. Then I've got ground beef for tacos or chili or shepherd's pie, and I can put it into a variety of dishes later on that week. My kids have not yet figured out that any kind of cheesy chicken or beef roll-ups are just the leftovers of all the random chicken or random beef from that week that we have not yet eaten, shredded up and tossed with spicy seasoning. I roll them up in a tortilla, I toss some cheese over the top and bake it in the oven at 350 degrees. Now this remains one of their favorite dishes, and it's an easy way to use up a variety of leftovers. All right, tip number 4. Take a look at your menu for the next day, the night before. That way you can decide if something needs defrosting or if you need to soak things like beans first. You may also decide that you're going to want to do some of that prep work, like making any sauces that night before you go to bed, so that it's ready and it saves time the next day. Meat that needs marinating, I defrost in the fridge with the marinade on it, so it's well seasoned by the time dinner preparation comes. You can also freeze your meat with the marinade in the bag to save time later on. Tip 5, broil a few veggies at the same time. I love roasted veggies, and you can cook several veggies at the same time, such as onions, sweet potatoes, and broccoli. 1 pan, 1 mess, 1 very easy cleanup. Tip 6, keep your menu up on your fridge or somewhere where the whole household can see it. It doesn't solve the problem completely, but it does cut down on the amount of times each week my kids ask to have pizza. And my final tip is, have fun with this. It doesn't need to be stressful and overwhelming. Get your family involved. Plan a meal prep party with some of your friends, or turn on a podcast, break open some wine, and enjoy some me time while you do your meal prepping. I cannot believe we've already at the end of this challenge. I'm so proud of each of you and how far you have come. I'm going to be sending you messages to follow up with you as well to see if there is anything further I can do to support you. Because remember, this can be actually easy and fun once you get your systems in place. Now, I know that times can be challenging and sometimes you know what to do and sometimes you don't. If you've been looking at things that we've been doing this week and you're realizing that there's some additional things that you might need help with that you think I could help you with, do not hesitate to reach out. I do work with individuals and families, not only on meal planning and prepping, but on the ways in which you can integrate nutrition and mindfulness into your life to make a huge difference in how you are functioning individually or as a family and to bring about transformation. So do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will be reaching out to all of you just to check in with you on how this week has gone and to seek your feedback. And as you begin this meal planning adventure, have a really strong start to school with all of that nutritious food that you are going to be sharing with your children. Have a wonderful rest of your day.